You know, guys, I don't know if it is me or what, but every time when I come across an article like this, I get annoyed. I get annoyed because it seems like the president of this country, a man who is supposed to put this country first, is always prioritizing international matters over domestic issues. I mean, every time when there's a war somewhere in the world, Ramaphosa and his ANC buddies are the first ones to run their mouths. Every time when there's a dispute somewhere in the world, this guy and his ANC friends are the first ones to run their mouths and to pick sides. And it's quite disturbing when you look at the speed of Ramaphosa when he's reacting to international matters and the speed of Ramaphosa when he's reacting to domestic issues. It's quite disturbing because when the news break and says Israel and Iran are going into a war, the president of this country will be the first one to tell these people, no, guys, this is what you should do. Sit down and have a tea, and maybe I can get 700 million rands to organize a national dialogue for you. But when South Africans tell him about the issues that they are facing, he's always shocked. It's almost as if he's not the president of this country. And he says some of the most ridiculous things, showing you how completely out of touch he is. You remember during the State of the Nation address, I think it was like 2 years ago, when this guy told the whole world basically that South African public hospitals are doing good. South African public hospitals, to say that no, these people that are saying that our public healthcare facilities are bad, they are liars. Our public healthcare facilities are good. This is the same guy who went to Joburg CBD with an entourage of security. And after going to Johannesburg CBD, he came back and said that there is no crime in Johannesburg CBD. There is no crime in Johannesburg CBD. This is what the president of this country actually utters. You know this story, guys. I don't want to lie. It actually reminds me of that time when Ramaphosa and his ANC buddies declared their love and solidarity with the people of Palestine. These people were wearing those Palestinian scarves, even in parliament. They were wearing those Palestinian scarves. And I have never seen these people wearing South African scarves. I have never heard these people saying that we are standing in solidarity with the people of this country. We know that the people of this country are facing a lot of problems and we are standing with those people. No, they said that we are standing in solidarity with the people of Palestine. Despite us lying to the people, telling them that we are non-aligned, we are actually on the side of Palestine. The same thing that is happening right now with Israel. The same people that are telling you that they are non-aligned, they are telling you that no, we are siding with Israel, with Iran. They are siding with Iran. I just do not understand. And to make matters worse with that thing of Palestine, just look at the kind of money that these people used to take Israel to the International Court of Justice on behalf of Palestinians. You are a president of this country and you are willing to spend hundreds and hundreds of millions, if not billions, to take Israel to the International Court of Justice, knowing very well that there are people in your own country that are sleeping without food. You are willing to use this money to take Israel to the International Court of Justice, knowing that there's an infrastructure problem in this country. You know that there are children that are still dying in the pit toilets in this country. You know that there's a crime in this country. You know that the state-owned entities, they are underfunded. You know that the South African National Defence Force is underfunded. You know that the NPA, the same NPA that is supposed to do the work to lock up these entitled comrades, is underfunded. But they will never use that money for any of those things. They will use this money to take Israel to the International Court of Justice because they are always trying to appear important in these issues. I don't get it, guys. I don't get it. Maybe it's me. But I honestly do not get it. You are a president of the country that is facing the highest unemployment rate in this country. You are a president of the country that is facing the highest murder rates. You are a president of the country that has no borders. You are a president of the country that has young people sitting at home. Most of these young people, man, they are in like, you are a president of a country that is literally crumbling. But you are quick to react to issues that are happening outside. I don't understand how Ramaphosa operates. So, a couple of days ago, I actually saw this article, and this article says that Ramaphosa calls for immediate dialogue between Israel and Iran to resolve the ongoing war. President Ramaphosa has called for immediate dialogue between Israel and Iran to resolve the ongoing war. Speaking on the sidelines of the 30th anniversary of the Constitutional Court, the president has weighed in on some of the international affairs. So the president of the country was actually speaking on the sidelines of the 30th anniversary of the Kildebourg Constitutional Court, and he was speaking about some matters of the international affairs. Ramaphosa is among several dignitaries attending the Apex Court's anniversary event at the Constitutional Hill in Braamfontein. He says the ongoing war has had a devastating blow on the economies of the world. Quote, there is now uncertainty and the prices are beginning to rise. And we are suffering from prices rises in our fuel because as a conflict raging in that part of the world, fuel becomes more expensive. So this is what Ramaphosa says. And you know, when I saw this article and these thoughts actually came into my mind, I actually came across this interview that was done by Neil de Beer and Biz News. You know that on Sundays they actually have these cool shows where they are talking about the trending political matters that are happening in this country. And it seems like Neil de Beer and I are on the same page. It seems like Neil de Beer and I are on the same page when it comes to the speed of Ramaphosa reacting to the matters that are happening internationally and the speed of Ramaphosa when he's addressing the issues that are happening here at home.
Right, let's start with President Cyril Ramaphosa telling Israel and Iran to enter into peaceful dialogue, Neil.
Yeah, they immediately reacted. Guns were withdrawn, heavy ammunition stored, papers came out, champagne to the table, and a couple of cookies. What a lot of toss. I mean, Chris, we really have to start thinking about the options between fact and reality. Now, when you speak to psychologists and people that work with a mind, which still today is probably like the ocean, we still don't know what stuff swim around the deepest sides of the ocean. I equate that as the same as the depth of the person's mind, because I don't know about you and the people that follow us, but I am every day surprised about the absolute craziness that sometimes comes out of a person's mind. I am looking at Cyril Cupcake Ramaphosa and I'm saying, does this man have a basis of reality? And I'm not insulting him, I'm telling him on the global scale, Chris, of where South Africa fits in on certain levels. In other words, our influence in the world, the power we wield. In other words, power will then be broken up into, let's say, military power, Bogerol, flat tire, economic power, Bogerol, flat tire, the placing of where we are on influence. We had it when the passport we carried was one of the most influential in the 94 era, also gone, weg. And then we get this gentleman that sits and he's the master over a country that still has a grey listing over it because our fiscal policies aren't right. Our military is in collapse, and we are definitely going to touch on it because it doesn't seem to sink in there as well. our joblessness, our labor disputes, our basic, incredible implosion laws, all of that. And Cupcake still gets up with a twinkling in his eyes and says he can sort out world peace.
I mean, like, exactly, like, this is one thing that I don't understand about Ramaphosa. Like, he thinks that he's this influential president, and people like Benjamin Netanyahu, people like Ayatollah Al Khomeini, people like Donald Trump, they will actually listen to him. He actually thinks that he's there with those people. He thinks that, yeah, I'm there with these people. And he thinks what he says actually matters. I mean, you can see even with that case of, with that thing of taking Israel to the International Court of Justice, if these people actually didn't take Israel to the International Court of Justice and just released the statements, they would actually see that their words are not important. They would see that their words are not important. But somehow, the president of this country likes to think that I'm this international figure and the world respects me. They don't respect you. They don't respect you. This is why you were treated the same way that you were treated in the White House. Because those people in the White House, they look at you, they look at what your country is going through. They look at the fact that you are presiding over a third world country. This is a country that actually has a potential of becoming one of the best countries in Africa, or even in the world. We have the potential as the people of this country to turn this into a heaven. But these people with their radical policies are the ones that are keeping this country back. These people with their radical policies are the ones that are destroying this country. And somehow he thinks that people will listen to him. He thinks like people will look at his military and to say that, no, this guy has actually built the South African National Defense Force to a very powerful force today. And we are going to respect him. And because we are going to listen to him, this guy has actually got his people into the workspaces. This guy is able to sit down with the investors so that the investors can come into his country. They are looking at him as a president who cannot even keep the lights on. They are looking at him as a president who cannot even give his people water, as a president that cannot even protect his own people from crime, a president that cannot basically protect his own country because his own country does not have the borders. But somehow he always thinks that they can listen to me. They can listen to me. I'm important. I am important. I just do not understand.
And says he can sort out world peace. My guy, small. You can't even sort out the current problems that we've got in this country on race, economy, safety and security, and just basic understanding of running a country. And the evidence to that is you've called for a national dialogue to so-called reset our country, but you want to go and tell Russia, tell Ukraine, tell Israel, tell Hamas, tell Hezbollah, tell Tehran, and America that you demand that they get back to the table. Well, Chris, I'm not going to say it, but our thousands, the more than 250,000 people a week that look at us are all going to surely go, what are you on about? And I think it's becoming a joke now.
Of course, like it is a joke now. It has to be. It has to be. It's a joke.
That we think that our interventions on a global scale is actually going to be heeded when the fingers are pointing back at us to say, why don't you go sort out the murders on the Cape Flats that are horrific and that are at times sometimes worse than the deaths in 4 or 5 current military operations in the world?
Well, meanwhile, the South African National Defence Force is sitting with a 41.2 billion rand shortfall nil, while SA military officials splurge millions on luxury international travel.
Now the party's up. Yeah.
I mean, like, these are things that he cannot even get under control. But like Neil DePierre says, that you cannot even fix the basic issues that are facing the people of this country, and for you to actually think that what you say internationally is going to matter, like, it is a joke. It is a joke. Why is it so hard for these people to simply say that, guys, we're gonna be selfish and we're gonna look at the lives of the people of this country and we're gonna try to fix the problems that are facing the people of this country, instead of going around the world and telling the people that we are siding with Iran. South Africa is standing with Iran. South Africa is standing with Hamas. They don't even have the audacity to say that, no, the ANC is standing with Iran, the ANC is standing with Hamas. They say that South Africa is standing with Iran. South Africa is standing with Hamas. South Africa is standing with Russia. They don't have the audacity to say that it's us. Because I don't think that average South Africans right now that are walking in the streets, I don't think that these people, they actually care about these wars. They don't. These people are actually worried about their people. They are worried about their families. They are worried about the safety of their families. These people want jobs. People are starving. People are going to sleep without food. This is what people are thinking. And for these people to try to pretend like these things, they actually matter, they don't. They don't. They are not serious. They are not serious people to be taken seriously. That's why they talk about things like the transformation. That, yeah, we're going to force white companies to put few black people into the positions of power. We're going to force the white companies to put few women into the positions of power. We're going to force the white companies to force few people with disabilities into the positions of power. And we're going to say that this is transformation. It is a joke. Every time when they even try to address things that are facing us in this country, they come with these ridiculous solutions. It's a joke. It's a joke. That transformation talk, it is a joke. Even if all the companies in this country can hire black people into their managerial positions, it will not even tip the scales, because millions and millions of people are sitting at home unemployed. It is a joke. The national dialogue, willing to spend billion rands on a national dialogue, it is a joke. It is a joke. And now, the same guy that is calling for the national dialogue, the same national dialogue that is rejected, is now coming out to try to tell Israel and Iran what to do. This is what South Africans have voted for. This is what South Africans voted for. A complete and utter joke. A complete and utter joke. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.